Welcome to the Our Ability podcast portal. Sandra Castilla is the Vice President and Chief Human Resource Officer at Albany Med, and we're excited to talk with her. Hi, Sandy.
Good afternoon, John. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Doing very well. Thanks for asking.
Good. So tell me a little bit about your role in the Albany Med universe, and then let's talk a little bit about Albany Med and its place in the capital region in New York State.
Absolutely. So in my role here as the VP and HR of HR and Chief Human Resources Officer, I have oversight of the normal day-to-day functions that you would think of that accompany the HR function. So talent, which is, recruitment, promotions, transfers, total rewards, which it would include compensation and benefits, our HRIS system, which is our the way applicants apply to our system, as well as we do transactions to move people throughout the organization, as well as run reports, leaves of absence, all of those types of functionality associated with human resources is the team that I work with on a day-to-day basis. I've been here for 19 years. Started out as the Associate Director of compensation and benefits, having come here from Turning Stone Resort and Casino. So been here for 19 years in the spring, and every day is a new journey, and happy to be here talking with you this afternoon.
Thank you very much. We're talking with some of our partners and friends in the disability diversity space, but also pillars of the community. And it's great perspective for everybody. We've had on our podcast Pfizer. We'll have on CVS Health. We've been talking with friends at Microsoft on accessibility. But for those that don't know, how big is Albany Med? And I'll say as a citizen of New York State, I know how important Albany Med is to the capital region. But tell me and tell others that may not know, how big is Albany Med?
So Albany Med's part of the Albany Med Health System, which includes, of course, our Albany campus, which is where I work, which also includes the region's only children's hospital, as well as pediatric emergency department. It also includes Columbia Hospital to our south, as well as Glens Falls Hospital and Saratoga Hospital to the north. And our post-acute partner, the Visiting Nurses Association. So all in, we have approximately 16,000 employees, about 9,000 here on the Albany campus. We are the largest and only regionally governed not-for-profit health system in Northeastern New York and Western New England. And we've had the economic impact of our system evaluated around 5.8 billion in economic impact. So that's a pretty significant number.
And a pillar in the community. So
absolutely.
So we're doing this partly because we need to hear from the different players in the disability/diversity space. There's candidates, there's disability service providers, there's accessibility experts, and there's employers. And I think it's important for all of us to speak to each other, because the only way we learn from each other is to speak and to listen. And so that's part of the reason why we're doing this. If you could, give me a little bit of your perspective on recruiting candidates to Albany Med and to its partners, as you mentioned, but also the importance of a diverse workforce in recruiting candidates, because I think it's important to understand how important diversity is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, diversity is one of the cornerstones of our success. We strongly believe in the motto of stronger together. That got us through COVID. It gets us through many difficult situations. We are proud to say that our campus represents over 80 countries. And we celebrate that annually with Citizenship Day. On National Citizenship Day, we get everyone together who has achieved that important milestone. We have a multi-generational workforce that spans 5 generations. I won't tell you how old she is, but our longest tenured employee boasts an impressive 65-year career here. So a lot to learn from her for sure. Many races, ethnicities, religions, all different types of beliefs, all educational levels, and various stages of employees within their career, anywhere from entry level to PhD slash, MD, postgraduate work. And we support our employees in growing their careers through offering either English as a new language or an alternative language or additional language, and GED assistance. So through our DEI communities and our DEI champions, we're committed to promoting and advancing the values and strengths that come from those communities. And our workforce we want our workforce to reflect the community where we live. Ultimately, that's the goal, is to bring these communities together to ensure that Albany Med is a place where we can identify and eliminate barriers, whether it's in healthcare, in employment, in accessibility, and identify those disparities, inequities, and create a place that's a natural place for health and well-being for everyone.
Have you seen a big change in the years on not only the growth of diversity, but the reflection in the workforce in comparison?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's definitely it's more part of the language on a day-to-day basis, which is great to see happen. We have diversity woven right into our values. So we have our mission, vision, values, and our values of excellence and continuous improvement, integrity in every decision we make, compassion and respect for every individual, collaboration, responsiveness to our community, fiscal accountability, of course, and then and diverse, equitable, and inclusive environment. So it is right embedded in our values that's something that we're looking to put in practice, day in and day out. But I have seen an emphasis in conversations about ensuring that that's always at the forefront, and we're always trying to make sure that we're being conscious of any types of barriers that we can assist in removing.
What have you seen, and how important is accessibility in today's world, either physical accessibility or even digital accessibility? Talk to us about the evolution there. I mean, a hospital or medical facility is a different physical animal anyway, but talk to us about accessibility. And I bring that up because we've seen such a dramatic change in the physical accessibility of our world, but also the digital accessibility of our world. What does that mean to you, Chief Human Resource Officer at Albany Med? What have you seen in accessibility?
Sure. So accessibility is critical at all levels. So I think of our patients, our staff, our students, our volunteers. So accessibility to me is not just about compliance with or the social responsibility about that. It's about inclusivity. So you can't include someone who can't access what it is that you have to offer, right? So ensuring that accessibility in the workplace means that either people with disabilities or other marginalized communities have equal opportunity. And, we know that equal doesn't mean the same, right? It's kind of meeting people where they're at to participate and contribute. So I feel like this enriches our workforce with a variety of perspectives, but also fosters a culture of empathy and understanding. One of our foundational acronyms is CARES, right? Compassion, accountability, respect, and engagement. So we have an iCare award winner that we present monthly at our manager meetings. We have iCare ambassadors. So again, that's kind of embedded in our fabric. It also helps us to maximize talent, right? We all know about the war for talent and how competitive it is to try and attract and retain talent. So by removing any barriers to accessibility, we can tap into a broader talent pool. There are people out there with disabilities or other diverse backgrounds who can bring with them unique skills and viewpoints that we need to problem solve and to keep innovating. So
that's great. And I think it's important that, that we have the perspective that there's a lot of different people out there. That's, that's obvious, but also for you to have that, and for you, meaning the organization, to have that, that's huge. And you said something earlier that has always struck me. It's that you want your employment base to reflect the people that you serve. I don't hear that enough. I know it's thought about. I don't want to diminish that, other human resource officers around the world don't think it. I'm sure they do, but to hear it is really gratifying, because we are a diverse people. Even in upstate New York, it may not seem like we're a diverse people, but we are. And to have that reflect is really important. So I applaud you for bringing that up. That's really key.
Thank you. It's, and it's important for employee satisfaction and retention as well. So if you can see yourself reflected back in your coworkers, in the community, you can feel like this is a place where I can belong. I can be part of their success. I can contribute, and my opinion and my belief is valued in it, in that it matters.
Yeah, that's exactly right. For those that don't understand, how big is Albany Med? Meaning, what are the different things that you do? Because I'm sure there are people out there that don't realize all the different things that you're involved in the medical and community.
Yeah. So from my domain, which is workforce, right? So we have nearly 1,000 different types of jobs. So obviously there's the clinical work, which I think most people tend to think of first. So, physicians, nurses, all of the licensed individuals. So you think about respiratory therapists, pharmacists, medical imaging, social workers, case managers, dietitians, but there's a whole host of non-clinical positions as well. So, we have a whole security department, purchasing, receiving and distribution, HR, legal, finance. Our CEO likes to say, unless you want to be an astronaut or the shortstop for the New York Yankees, we probably have a job for you, because there's that many different types of roles that are needed to make our organization work, both here on the Albany campus as well as throughout the system. So, and if someone comes to us without some of those skills, we can help employees grow their career if they have a desire to learn and grow with Albany Med. And we do that through flexible schedules, remote work where that's available. Obviously being a tertiary care center, our patients come to us, right? So it's not always available for to work from home or remotely, but where we can accommodate that, we do try. We offer tuition reimbursement, continuing education, several affiliations with our local colleges and universities, as well as our high schools. No cost access to CDTA. That's a huge. We've had that in place for many years, and provides, again, to talk about access, provides access for many individuals to get to us for work. We have a free on-site fitness center that people can avail themselves of, and an employee assistance program. So if you're having difficulties personally that may be affecting your work or just affecting your life in general, we have that available for our employees and their families to help work through any stresses that they have, to help problem solve there. So you're right. There's a lot. We're very big, and it it's saying it takes a village. We are like a little city, kind of unto ourselves here. So
you could ask Dr. McKenna to start a space program. You might find some astronauts out there. You never know. You mentioned CDTA. That's huge. That's huge in our space because that's transportation. For those that don't know, it's the Capital District Transit Authority, and so they deal with your busing and your STAR if you're disabled or whatever, so you're able to get to work. Transportation is huge, and knowing the area that Albany Med's in, it's in a very easily accessible spot in Albany, which is great. So it's good that, and I would expect that CDTA goes right through there all the time and constantly. So good for you for mentioning that. Can you share with us a success story or two on diversity? Because I think it's important for all of us to hear and see each other, as you had mentioned before, in our coworkers. Can you share with us some success stories?
I think us having this conversation today is representative of some of our success and our growth, right? And valuing our workforce. We've been fortunate to be able to partner with organizations such as Our Ability. I think we may have been connected. I know we've had a long-standing relationship with the Center for Disability Services. We also do work with, and both organizations have helped us to match our needs with the skills and abilities of the individuals that they serve. And we partner with other community organizations such as the Black Nurses Coalition, Capital District Latinos, Girls Inc. And those are just to name a few. We could probably talk for an hour just on the community partnerships that we have. As again, that's just so important to our mission and to who we are as an organization. So our diverse workforce and by extension, the diverse range of beliefs and viewpoints that they bring are integral to our success. So it kind of all is intertwined and interchangeable. So
it's noticed. I've got a meeting upcoming in a few weeks with doctors with disabilities, and one of the first things they look for is who, the logos on our screen and the job openings that we have. So it is that kind of sort of notification that helps us, helps you, but helps others that may not put the connection together between disability and the medical world. And I think about that quite a bit, actually, because as an individual with a disability, when I was, a young person in college, medical school would not have been open to me. And I was told that. So these relationships as they evolve are really important. And it's what you said before. It's not just clinical. It's all the other things that you're doing as well that really become part of that pillar in the community that's essential. So
absolutely.
Yeah, applaud that. So Sandy, here's the $5 million question. Where are we in 5 years, and where is Albany Med in 5 years, and what do you see the trajectory of diversity and disability in that sort of 5-year plan?
Yeah, so our journey is definitely a work in progress. I'm very proud of all that we've been able to accomplish so far. But I know that we're just scratching the surface, right? We need to continue to increase our understanding an awareness and appreciation of DEI and cultural competence. We need to continue to gain our insights through these types of conversations and understand ways we can continuously foster a more cohesive workforce, and continue to respond. Our community, I think, looks to us, as you said, as a leader in the community, and they're going to want to be a part of that. So to the extent that we can continue to be creative and find opportunities for all ability levels in all contexts, our patients, our workforce, our volunteers, our faculty, that's going to just keep that flywheel spinning, if you will. And we just want to continue to celebrate diversity and all that it has to offer. So
Great. Wonderful. Sandra Castilla, Sandy, thank you very
thank you
much.
so much.
And we do thank Albany Med, its place in the community, and the work that we're doing in diversity and disability as part of DE&I. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you'd like to join us, I encourage you to go on our website, albanymed.org/careers, or on the Our Ability website, ourability.jobs/albanymed.
There you go.
Plenty of opportunity out there. We'd be happy to talk further.
Love the plug. Sandy, thank you.